Now, would you like to know what are the biggest secrets to ranking fast in Google? Have you heard a lot of misconceptions, some myths, or sometimes you are not sure on what are the facts? Some people say that let's get as many backlinks as possible to rank. How about another one where, let's repeat our keywords as many times as possible so that our website can rank very high in Google? Is it possible to rank faster than all other sites that have been in the internet and have been established for more than 5 years and we are a new website? Questions. Fact, myths, misconceptions. How do we tell which is the right information for ranking into Google? Hi, my name is Eugene, the SEO King, and I make business searchable. This is what we are going to reveal to you, the biggest SEO secret to rank fast within 3 months in Google. So, without further ado, let's get started. Here are the biggest SEO secret to rank fast within 3 months. And they are as follows. First topic we're going to cover is search engine wars. Second, how is Google able to dominate search? Number third, we will cover the considerations to write a good and searchable content. And lastly, we'll look at how do people search on Google. To understand SEO or search engine optimization, we got to first look at this thing called the search engine wars. And as we all know, Yahoo was founded in 1994, but Google came 4 years later, and that is in 1998. So the question that is on the top of everyone's mind is this. So why is Google able to be the dominant player in the search today? Why is Google able to be the number 1 and number 2 search engine in the world? Outside China, of course, because China blocks everything. That is Google. Haha, it's a sad fact, but it's true, right? So why? Why are we able, or why is Google able to rank? So if you like my video so far, I would like you to smash the like button and also subscribe, because it will tell the Google or YouTube algorithm to push this video out to as many people as possible, and as many people as possible should know the secrets to fast ranking in Google, right? So let's move on. How did Google dominate search? That is in the world of billions and even trillions of web pages. How was Google able to dominate in the world of search? Have you ever wondered? Google is able to dominate the world of search through 2 ways. And they are as follows, which we will cover. The first way is Google keep buying technologies sometime back, and they are able to consolidate their position by buying technologies, right? The second thing we want to look at is what are some of the Google algorithms that Google roll out and that is able to allow Google to dominate, right? So welcome to key to Google dominance. Point number 1, the buying of technology companies over the years. Google bought technology companies over the years. Just to give you an idea of the extent of this, Google bought more than 1 company per week in 2010 and 2011. And because of that activity and exercise, Google was able to dominate because Google bought some of the smartest tech companies at that point in time. And with that acquisition of technology, Google was able to consolidate its position. And let's look at some of the key companies that Google bought in order to form the core foundation of what we have today in Google's search dominance over Yahoo. And they are as follows. 13 July 2004, Google bought Picasa, which is today Google Photos. And fast forward 2005, 28 March 2005, Google bought Urchin Software Corporation, which today form the basis of what we call Google Analytics that enable you to see your website visitors and statistics. And in 9 October 2006, Google bought YouTube. And today, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Can you imagine that? And in 11 June 2013, Google bought WAZE, W-A-Z-E, which today is Google Maps, the foundation of Google My Business, who has been renamed to Google Business Profile. Photos, YouTube, analytics, maps. Then the question you need to ask yourself is your business on all this yet? If you are not, then how can your business be searchable if you are not on these platforms, right? And having and being on this platform is one of the key secrets to dominating Google search. Next, we look at the key to Google dominance. Point number 2, which is the Google algorithm updates. And the Google algorithm updates are, like it or hate it, the boon and bane of any search marketer and even business owners today, right? Haha, right? We have, of all things, Google choose cute animals: panda, penguin, pigeon, hummingbird, rank brain. Why in the world of all things Google will name their algorithm after cute animals that will come and haunt us as business owners and as search marketers? Think about it, right? So now here is a chronological look at the Google algorithms and also a deep dive into the explanation behind these algorithms. February 2011, Google Panda was rolled out as an algorithm for an on-page filter, which basically addresses quality content. Because at that point in time, people were repeating keywords too many times. And that is what we call keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is the process of repeating keywords too many times that it does not make sense to humanly read whatever that you have. And to Google, that is classified as teen content. And before February 2011, the teen content was able to rank. And it doesn't make sense because the moment Google loses in the relevancy game, Yahoo takes over. So Google rolled out February 2011 Google Panda to address that. And the outcome is that sites have to be a quality site in order to rank rather than such rubbish sites. And the benefit of outcome of this algorithm update is today, firstly, whenever we have a site, we must make sure that we always optimize for the human in mind, such that it is readable, and then for the search engine to pick it up. So if in that way, if we up our game, then our content will be relevant and it will rank. So that is the purpose of Google Panda. Moving ahead, April 2012, Google Penguin is an off-page penalty to filter sites that we have spammy links, because at that point in time, people just say, no, just get as many backlinks as possible. Google will rank you. And true enough, right? Before the algorithm update, as many links as possible you get, your website gets ranked very high. And this algorithm, Google Penguin, is to address spammy off-page links from other sites to your site. And the outcome of this Google Penguin basically means that if you have a link to your website, make sure the link is quality. and Google looks at quality over quantity of links. So considerations will be like links from relevant site. So if you are a medical site and you have citations of medical magazines mentioning your site or your company, then that is considered a relevant link than any other links. So the outcome or the benefit of this algorithm update of Google Penguin is this: to focus on getting just relevant links is important for your business, and relevant links are defined as, you know, links from industry portals or even PR news sites or news feature, right? Don't go crazy getting backlinks. It doesn't work. Don't go to Fiverr, fiverr.com to get links. It doesn't work anymore, ladies and gentlemen. That is so yesteryear, right? Next, September 2013, Google Hummingbird comes into the picture, and Hummingbird is just a very cute, innocent bird that just gathers honey on sweet flowers, right? With Google Hummingbird, Google is able to understand conversational search and the user search intention better with this algorithm update. So what does this mean, right? What do we need to do, right? Are we to panic? No, in fact, these are things that will help us. And this means that understanding the user search intention and the idea behind the search better, Google is now able to even understand whole sentences and not just individual words. Google is able to understand words in a paragraph that has certain contextual meaning because Google looks at what are the other keywords that is being used. So the outcome of this algorithm update is that if we write and focus good content optimization, copywriting techniques, and we optimize for it, our website will have a better chance to show up with this algorithm rollout. Next, we look at Google Rank Brain. And Google Rank Brain is Google's machine learning and artificial intelligence component, or AI. So with this AI, Google is now able to understand never seen before search queries better. And what does it mean by never seen before search queries? For example, today you launch a new company. It's a new company that, you know, nobody has searched before. And then when you publicize your company, people start searching for that company name or for that new product brand or that new property name, the new property launch, the name of the property, right? So this is never handled before search because it's not in Google's database. So Google Rank Brain is the first one that handles it. And then it does it with consultation with all the other animals. And that's why it's not an animal, it's a brain. The brain is an animal itself, right? And the brain consults all the other animals with the rest and decides how to rank you based on page, based on off page, and based on best practices of writing content. So at this point in time, I would like to tell you to state down your aha moment about how Google was able to dominate in the search engine space. What stands out for you? And which point do you think is the most important, or which point you do not know? I would love to hear it. I will respond to every comment, right? So next, after we have understand how more or less how Google is able to dominate using buying of technologies and also the algorithm updates, we come to this very interesting part. Please do not stop the video, right? This very interesting part is considerations for a searchable content. Now, if you are writing content, what are some of the considerations that you need to do? Because remember, you need to write content for the human in mind. And if your content is only readable in search engine spider or the search engine robot or algorithm, or if your content is only discoverable by Google, and when the user clicks on your content and it's rubbish, it repeats keywords so many times and all this, then people will just close off the browser and you will get what we call a bounce rate. A bounce rate is when people stay less than 3 seconds on your website. That is considered bounce rate. So as we can see, writing content for the human is very important for engagement. And here are some of the pillars that we need to consider when we are writing content in mind. Firstly, the content needs to be optimized in terms of the keyword level or in terms of the topics that you cover. And one of the way in which RankBrain can, really understand, or Hummingbird can really understand your content is this. When you write your content to certain topic, and then you kind of mention certain keywords or certain associations that make Google understand better. So for example, your content is about Apple. At that point in time when Google discover the word Apple, Google does not really know whether you're talking about Apple the fruit or Apple the company. But when Google discover keywords that are associated within your content, for example, iPad, iPhone, iPad, iPod, then Google will know that you're talking about Apple the company. But if Google discover the word Apple alongside orchard, alongside orange, alongside supermarket, then Google will know that you are talking about Apple the fruit. So topical is, what you're talking about, the topics. Contextual is in what context that people will search your content for. When you have topical relevancy, contextual relevancy, you have relevancy, and Google find you relevant, Google will rank you, and Google find you authority, right? So topical relevancy, right, for topics. Contextual relevancy, see how the topics connect with one another. Eventually, you'll get relevancy. And lastly, you will get authority. Topical, contextual, relevancy, authority. This is very important. And as you can see, Google's dominance. So Google.com is the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube.com is the #2 search engine in the world. And Google is also used as a verb. And the man in the street will tell his friend, can you just Google it instead of asking me? His answers are all in Google, right? So which content strategy do you like? Are you really practicing topical, contextual to build relevancy and authority? So tell me about it, because I want to hear and I want to help you. Leave a comment, right? So once we got all this content to be engaging to the user, then you may ask, how do I plan my site? So you plan your site structure and group relevant information together so that from the Google standpoint, there's a keyword relevancy, there's a topical relevancy, there's contextual relevancy, and eventually Google find you relevant and will rank you and be an authority in your niche or in your subtopic that you are trying to dominate and rank. So imagine Google walking into a department store and your website is this department store. What is Google going to react, right? Is Google going to find that your website is organized into logical departments like men's department, ladies department? You don't find dresses in men's department. That's what I mean. Is your website organized into logical information groups? So at this point in time, we would like to show you an example of what a SEO optimized business will look like and how you can also optimize it for your business. So imagine somebody searching for wedding ice sculpture Singapore. Somebody's getting married, somebody looking for wedding ice sculpture Singapore. And you notice that, first thing you notice are the images that are here that is highlighted. And as you can see, there are certain images that stand out from the other. This is intentional. And let's say the couple love this love sculpture. The couple will click on this love sculpture and the couple will look at it. They will see that, okay, I love this love sculpture, can put champagne here. And it is icecarvingsingapore.com. And the couple will go to icecarvingsingapore.com and make their enquiries. So this is intentional, and this is achieved through Google image optimization. Next, you come down, you have 17 million results. You already have Tuckly dominating the images with a few of these. And you scroll down, and this is Google page one, number one. Google page one, number two is dominated by Tuckly, which is Ice Carving Singapore website. So the third position, this is their competitor. Iceman is their competitor. Next, we go down to the wedding ice sculpture. The map, the first one in the map listing is by Tuckly. You scroll down at the bottom. This is YouTube optimization. It's a YouTube video that Tuckly has optimized, and it is ranking in the right after the map pack. This is Pinterest. It is also pointing to Tuckly, is ranking. And you scroll down all the way at the bottom. Hot Frog is a sort of a directory, open directory listing. Tuckly is here. So, ladies and gentlemen, and today for Wedding Ice Sculpture Singapore, we have first spot in the image map pack, second spot in Google page one, number one, third spot in Google page one, number two, Google page one, number four is a map pack, Google page one, number five is a YouTube listing, Google page one, number six is Pinterest, and Google page one, number seven is Hot Frog. So who thinks this is awesome? Who thinks this is awesome? Leave a comment below, because 17 million results. Search engine Google page one has 10 results. I'm able to dominate 7. And that is the power of SEO and making your business searchable, right? Next, we come to the next very important segment, and that is, I'm going to ask you a question. And the question is, do you know that there are 8 types of SEO? Well, if you don't know, this is what I'm going to tell you. And are you optimizing all this SEO for your business? The first one is very simple. It's called technical SEO. And technical SEO talks about how fast your website loads. There's your website load speed. Is your website mobile optimized? Does your website has SSL or secure sockets layer? Is your website secured? And the mobile optimization bit, is your team mobile optimized? Is your image too big? And things like that, right? And your page response, how fast your page loads. This is all technical SEO. Next, we come to the very important thing which we have emphasized earlier, and that is called content SEO. And in content SEO, how do you write for the human in mind? And that is the essence of content SEO, and it includes good copywriting techniques. And after that, after you have written for the human, you have to go on-page SEO and how you optimize for the search engine spider to better discover your content. Don't go over-optimize. Remember all the algorithms, they will get you, right? Next, we talk about off-page SEO. How do we get links to our website? And as we know, it is about quality over quantity of links. And next, we come to the concept of local SEO, how we optimize ourselves such that people in our location, in our state, in our county is able to search for services and we appear. And that is local SEO. Next, we come about image SEO on the example of Tuckly, that is image SEO. And of course, YouTube SEO in the example of Tuckly is also YouTube SEO. And the last one, e-commerce SEO, looks at how you optimize your categories, how you optimize your product so that it's searchable, product models and things like that, that is searchable in e-commerce. And of course, all the other things plays a part. In recap, the 8 types of SEO are technical SEO, content SEO, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, local SEO, image SEO, YouTube SEO, and e-commerce SEO. You got to make sure that you address all these 8 types of SEO. Which are the 8 types of SEO that you are doing? Are you even aware that there are 8 types of SEO? So which 8 types of SEO are you doing or you are not doing? Please let us know in the comments so that we can know how better to help you. So next we come to the questions of how does actually someone search for you for a business? There are many ways in which people can search for a business, as we can see. And I will show you, right? There are many ways in which people can search for your business. And the first one, the default is all, right? But people can do a image search. That's number one. So one is the overall search, which most of them is default at all. But people can come to the image search. People can search for you. People can come to the map search, and people search for you and they found you here. And people can come to the videos search, and people will realize that, oh, okay, they found you, Takli, and all this, right? And of course, there are other ways of searching which may not be applicable. Finance search, flight search, book search, and maybe news. If you release some news, then you appear in news search. If you are e-commerce, you might appear in shopping search. So these are just some examples on how people will actually search for a business, right? So as you have seen that I have actually shown you that these are how people actually search your business. Let's be true about this. How many ways did your business appear? And if you are not appearing, how can you make it appear? And with that, I leave you to ponder on these questions. How many platforms are your business on? And are they searchable on these platforms? And as a parting thought, I would like you to tell us what are some of the key learning points that you learned from this video, or perhaps what kind of support you need in your SEO, or in what kind of support do you need to get your business searchable on Google. And I will try to do a next video on that. And with that, remember to subscribe and like this video, because I really believe that more people should know the secret of ranking high in Google, the biggest secrets to rank fast in Google within 3 months. And with that, thank you. I'm SEO King, signing off. Goodbye.